What's going on, everyone? So yesterday's game was unbelievable, right? You cannot have that if you're the NBA. There is zero chance that Adam Silver is at home waking up this morning and happy about that result. Look, maybe the Lakers lose yesterday. Very real possibility, right? Luka hits the shot. It's a 1-point game. It was a back and forth game at that point. But to completely change the outcome of that game and the momentum instead of allowing it to resolve. JT Orr, right? Like these refs, and it's not even just a Laker problem. This is an issue that has been an issue for years. These referees thinking that they are the ones that deserve the spotlight. Like all of this crowd is here for me. No one cares who you are. No one, right? Like, when has anyone ever been like, man, I can't wait to go to the game for the refs? It's never happened, right? They could be robots. No one would care, right? What is absolutely mind-blowing to me is the fact that they allow these refs to continue to do that, and there's no repercussions. There's no reprimand. There's no nothing. It's the only career in the history of careers where you can be as bad as possible at your job and nothing happens. Players get fined, suspended, all kinds of stuff. Anybody, you could work at McDonald's, you could work for a big, Fortune 500 company. It doesn't matter. There are repercussions for your actions, unless you're an NBA referee. It's crazy, right? The NBA is so tied to players need to control their emotions. It's an emotional game. They're competitors. They're in the thick of it. They didn't just give Luka a technical. They then followed that up by giving Jared Vanderbilt a technical for taunting. It's ridiculous at this point. If players have to control their emotions, then why don't NBA refs? If players have to be able to control themselves and not have outbursts emotionally, why can refs? Something needs to change, and it needs to change badly, because that was ridiculous. And it's not the first time. It's not just a Laker thing. It's an issue, period. That you have these refs that regularly are causing techs or changing games or giving ejections when it's unnecessary. Right? And this isn't just a Laker thing, because I've talked about this before. And I did a whole video about it last year. And the examples I used was Jason Tatum of the Boston Celtics, who got a technical for literally talking to himself. Luka Doncic for getting a technical for talking to Maxi Kleber, right? Like, you have these instances of players getting techs because the refs lose their emotions, yet players have to contain theirs. It makes no sense. Either A, referees should not be able to give technicals unless it's a physical issue, physical altercation, right? Because they're not going to reprimand refs, so you need to change the system, right? Your job is to be there, manage the game, manage players, make calls, right? If you as a referee cannot take players crying and yelling and screaming at you all game, don't be a referee. It's your job. It's what you're paid to do. If you can't control your emotions because all these players are screaming at you, guess what? It's your job. And people say, oh, it's Luka, it's whatever. There's tape, famous sequence of Michael Jordan crying to a ref, and the ref's like, I believe you, Michael. I believe you, Michael. I believe you, Michael. So let's not pretend like it's a LeBron thing or a Luka thing or anything else. Players cry to the refs all the time. It's something that has happened forever, right? The NBA doesn't want another Malice in the Palace. I get it. That's fine. So if it's not a physical confrontation, a ref shouldn't call a tech unless it's a foul, something physical. If a ref has to listen to a player cry and complain the whole time, guess what? That's what you're paid to do. If you can't take it, there's other jobs, other careers, other fields, right? Go to college or something like that. I don't know what to tell you, right? Because it's ridiculous at this point that players keep being reprimanded for being emotional for a game that requires emotion. It requires emotion. And they want these players, if you want players to just be robots, then call Tesla, get on the phone with Elon Musk and tell him to make 10 robots and we'll just play those games, right? It's ridiculous. Something needs to change because they're never going to reprimand referees. So refs shouldn't be able to call technicals on emotional sequences. It doesn't matter. If a player's crying to you, too bad, deal with it. Tell him to get away from you, right? That, or you can't be ejected for a technical that's not a physical technical. Either or, right? Because if that's the case, then, tally up the techs. And, the other team gets free throws, whatever. But even then, you get refs that get a power trip, right? And start giving all these techs. Whatever, they need to come to a conclusion, one way or another. Because that sequence yesterday was ridiculous. And if you're the Thunder, no way do you feel good about that win. Zero shot. Thunder fans are already talking about how they don't feel good about that win, right? If you're the Lakers, you feel great because you're like, man, like everything changed when that happened. Everything changed. And you heard Jared Vanderbilt's over there talking about how, the ref, JT Orr, talked about how I'll talk to anybody but Luka. And he's like, I don't know, but it seemed really personal to me. Why are refs having personal fits? And again, for those that are like, oh, it's the Luka thing, is that Allen Iverson, historically, literally refs admitted it, right? Like, this isn't something that's new. This is something that's been on forever. Why is NBA ratings going down? Because your refs think that people are there for them and they're not. No one cares about a ref. Most people can't even name a ref, let alone think that they care whether they show up or not. No one cares. No one's like, oh man, this ref, glad that we got this guy. Like, no one cares. It could be a bunch of random people. You could have audience members ref the game. Like, no one cares as long as you get the call right. Are there going to be human error and stuff like that? Of course. It's fine. It's part of the game. It's why they made, the challenge rule. But as far as these refs giving technicals and changing the courses of games and all that stuff, it's ridiculous. It is. It's ridiculous. Games should not be dictated by the refs. The ref's job is to control the game from getting out of hand, getting out of control. Again, if it's a physical confrontation, if Luka ran up to JT and just started cussing him out and calling him names or was getting ready to slap him or something, sure, he checked him. He deserves it. Even if he was yelling at the ref. Again, you cannot do that in an emotional game that has high stakes for both teams. OKC's trying to get the number 1 overall seed. Lakers are trying to secure the 3 seed. It's a tight game, hard-fought game, and now it was just completely ruined because somebody got an ego. Again, maybe the Thunder beat the Lakers. I would have loved to find out. I would have loved to see how that went. I would have loved to see where the Lakers going to go ahead because who knows? Lakers get a stop because Luka hits that little floater, right, or little fall away, whatever. 1 point game. He gets a tech. There's 1 point. And then they give Jared Vanderbilt a tech immediately after. There's 2 points. So all of a sudden, OKC gets the lead. If Luka hits that bucket, momentum's in the Lakers' favor. Lakers get a stop. Luka goes down and knocks down a 3. He shot 43% from 3-point range. So it's not unrealistic. He knocks down 3. Now it's a 4-point game. The game's completely changed. Momentum's completely changed. Everything. But no, this guy thought, you know what? People are here to see me. It's ridiculous. It needs to change. Again, if players have to control their emotions, so do referees. And if you're not going to reprimand referees, then don't give techs. Unless it's a physical tech, like, a flagrant or whatever, don't give techs. If a player tells you to go F yourself, part of the game. Players tell each other to go F themselves all the time. Tell him to go F himself back. Right? Whatever. I don't care. Just don't give techs. If officials can't control it. It's ridiculous at this point. But let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments. Do you agree with me, disagree with me, kind of mixed in the middle? However you feel, whatever your thoughts are, I'd love to hear it out of the way. So let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. So we enjoy these types of videos. Truly appreciate it. Not subscribe to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one.